What do being crew? It's your boy Savon Thomas back with another episode of Coffee and Comments. Today we're going to review the movie. Took me a while to go see it, but everybody saw it when it came out. Barbie. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's get into it. But first, let's take a sip. Welcome back, Bean Crew. Again, this is a review of the movie Barbie. And I just want to start off by saying to my fellow Kens that you are Kenough, right? I love this movie. I don't know, it's been interesting to hear people's perspective over the past really 3 weeks since this movie's been out because I've heard some really negative reviews. I've heard some great reviews as well from different people, regular people that watch movies, movie reviewers, critics, stuff like that. It is one of the biggest box office hits of all time, Barbie movie, which is so interesting, and we'll talk about that. But for me, going to this movie, I honestly expected it to be a little bit different than what I got. Like, I didn't know what it was going to be about going in. I remember seeing the trailer and being like, do I really want to see this movie? Because, like, if we go back, fast forward, or rewind, I guess, to January of this year, I was super jacked about seeing this movie. Then the first trailer came out, and I was like, I don't want to see this movie anymore. Then everybody watches, I hear great things. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see it at some point, and I did. And man, this movie was hilarious. What the movie was like about overall, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But I just like there were so many moments in this movie where I just found myself like dying laughing at little jokes, little things that they added in there, and that's why I love the movie because it was I don't want to call it well written because for the main storyline it's hit or miss, but the jokes were top notch. Like if this should be listed as a comedy movie because it is freaking hilarious, right? So for those who don't know, the Barbie movie, it's about there's a parallel universe of the Barbie world where there's a real world, there's Barbie world. Those two worlds start to clash where Barbie has to go over to the real world and find out what's going on. Ken goes over into the real world as well, sees men running the real world versus which is comparative to the Barbie world where men are kind of like less than society. It kind of like the portrayal based off of the movie is that in a patriarchal world it's just chauvinistic and that's kind of the world it is. But in Barbie Land, where women run things, things are great, right? So you can kind of see like the feminist parallels. No big deal there. But overall, like he goes over there, finds out patriarchy, brings patriarchy back to Barbie Land, and like kind of quote unquote ruins things. And so I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie, man. Ryan Gosling, who plays Ken, one of the Kens, the main Ken, and then Margot Robbie, who plays stereotypical Barbie, were phenomenal, right? They both played their characters so well. Just like these ditzy blondes that are dolls, right? But you have a star-studded cast and like people that are in this movie, and so thoroughly enjoyed it. Thought all the characters were well portrayed. They did a great job of like also pitching the Barbie like toys and like all the different characters and other sets. And it was kind of like it was a celebration of Barbie, right? Because like the little girl said in the movie, Barbie's become this like stereotypical person, and like a lot of women feel like they can't live up to the image that is Barbie, but it's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be a celebration of women and like their accomplishments. And so it was interesting to see like this movie. For a woman, I feel like maybe this movie is a little bit different, but for a guy, I thought this was hilarious, right? Like when Ken goes to the real world and finds patriarchy, and he's like, she asked me what time it was, and he's like, patriarchy. Here's these books that I read, and then he's like going around to the different people trying to get a job, and he's like, can I get this job because I'm a man? And they're like, you need a degree. He's like, but I'm a guy. Go, it was bro. It was so funny. There were so many different jokes. Like the Duolingo joke was hilarious. I cracked up laughing because I'm on Duolingo right now, and so the dad was like doing Duolingo, and I was like, bro, that's so funny. So I thought there were so many good jokes inside there. I literally called my apartment out of the Mojo Dojo Casa House. I thought that was so hilarious. It's just anyways. It's a fun movie that if you want to kind of dive into like the seriousness of like feminism versus patriarchy, the anti-capitalist kind of connotations within the movie, sure, go ahead and dive into that. I'm not interested in doing that today. I thought for just a regular movie, it was hilarious. I'm not gonna give a rating on once you go watch it yourself, but the movie was I thoroughly enjoyed it. So check it out, Barbie movie if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, what your rating was in the comments. But other than that, thanks for tuning in to the episode of Coffee and Comments.